Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today I wanted to show you my new botanical junk journals that I have in my Etsy shop. The link for it will be down below. I have 4 new journals as well as extra tassels and extra altar paperclip charms, and then also some ephemera packs. So hopefully there's something there that you would like. I have some other previous journals that I've made that are in my shop as well. So go ahead and check everything out. So today what I wanted to do is do a full flip through of every single journal and show you what is included. Each journal is one signature, but it is a pretty chunky signature. I believe each book has around 80 pages in it. They all are made with some recycled packing. It's like a textured packing paper, really heavyweight paper that my husband brought home from work for me. And then I sewed on vintage fabric and then added things and embellished. And they each include a tassel on the spine as well as one of the altered paperclip charms. And then each one has a tie. 2 of them are ties that are just around the whole entire journal that are removable, and then these 2 here are sewn into the cover. So I will start over here on the right with the yellow journal. This one is very special to me because it is a vintage apron that was my grandmother's, and I just had fun creating with it. I live in a small condo, so I have things that I've picked up from my mother's house, and I can't keep everything, but I can take pictures and I can create with the things that were given or that I inherited. So I just think this is a special way. Just the memories of making things and so hopefully this will bring a little bit of memory to you as you use it. So this is the apron. The tie is actually the tie that was part of the apron, and then I used it in the tassel and then on some of the tags and things. So I'll show you first all the goodies, the handmade tags and pockets and things that I made for this journal that will be included, as well as some of the items that are inside the book. So I made a coffee dyed tea stain bag. I decorated that with a napkin. And then this is just a little pocket that I sewed up with some calligraphy paper that was dyed, and I just decorated it. Here is an altered note card decorated with some of the papers. This is a vintage stamp and some trims. Here's just a little journaling card that I made with a book page. And then another tag. This was just a piece of the paper collection that I used in the book, and then used an image from a book page, then sewed it all down onto the card, added some lace and some of the fabric. Here's another altered tag there with a sticker I had in my stash and some of the fabric and the paper. And then here's another altered note card and another bird stamp. So those will be included with the book. Here is the journal. As I said before, it's tied up with the actual tie from the apron, and then on the cover I used it as well as this vintage doily, and I sewed it on top of some yellow patterned paper and then that recycled textured paper, and you'll see more of the texture on the inside. Here is the tassel, and it just has a bunch of lace and trims and ribbons and things. Really pretty. And then I have attached this altered paperclip charm And if you'd like to see how I made this charm, I have a video for that. I'll link it down below. And I do have extras of these as well as the tassel. So we'll open it up here. There's the front. I've added some rickrack there. Here's the inside cover, and here is a vintage card there that is stuck in the front little tuck spot. And see this really cool texture? Yeah, I thought that was really cool. My husband brought that home. I included a bunch of the journaling cards from the actual paper collection, so that's in here. There's all kinds of sewing. I did some staining with some vintage photo on mostly everything. There are tons of vintage book pages. This one has a music sheet in there called Parakeets in Birdland. I have this really cute bird paper clip there. There's an envelope that I made. Vintage playing card. I'm gonna bring in a little bit there. And since I have 4 of these books, I'm going to go ahead and put you on a little bit of fast forward so that you'll be able to watch all of them and not be here all day long. Here's a really cool book page. Next journal, here is my purple botanical journal. It is a really pretty vintage embroidered and lit like ribbon work on. It's a vintage tablecloth and just gorgeous. So the first thing, I'll go through these. All the handmade tags and pockets. This is a journaling card. You use lots of vintage items throughout. This one is a vintage book page and then a vellum flower sticker that I had in my stash. Here's an envelope that I made out of a really pretty floral coloring book page. Here is a little pocket that I embellished. A glassine bag. Here's an envelope that I tea stained or coffee stained and decorated. And then here's another tag and some journaling cards or altered note cards. Another little card there. This is a vintage card. And then here's a vintage book page that I embellished. So that's what comes with this book. Now on to the book. Here is the altered paperclip charm there, and then the really gorgeous tassel on the side. It's tied up with some sari silk ribbon that is removable. As I said, this is a vintage tablecloth piece. It has like some crocheted pieces here on the back and on the front. And then it's on top of some purple, green and purple fabric there, or green and purple scrapbook paper, and then on top of that craft packing paper with the texture. So I'll just go ahead and flip through it and let you take a look at what's inside. Turquoise butterfly journal that I made. I'll show you the extra handmade goodies. Here's a bookmark, and this is a little tuck page that I used the calligraphy paper, and then I decorated it with this vintage, it was kind of like a print from like 1973 or something like that, and it has an extra pocket on the front as well as the main pocket there. Here are a couple altered note cards that I made into tags. Here is an altered shipping label or shipping tag. This one is an altered flashcard, and I have a video on how I made this, so I'll put the link for that down below as well. And then here is the altered glassine bag. So those goodies will come with it. And here's the main book here. This is some vintage butterfly fabric, and as well as a vintage doily, and I love this doily because it actually has butterflies on it. It has this gorgeous tassel made with some of the fabric, some sari silk ribbon, some other ribbons and trims and lace, seam binding, and then here is the altered paper clip charm. This one has a sewn in tie that I made with some turquoise lace and some of the fabric. And now I'll just go ahead and do my fast forward flip through of this. I just love how this turned out, so I hope you like it as well. Last journal I have to show you is the pink botanical journal. This was a scarf that I had and I just thought it was so beautiful. I don't believe it is vintage, but it looks great as far as going along with all of the other vintage items that are in the book. And then I do have a vintage doily here. And it is sewn onto some green scrapbook paper and that same recycled craft paper. There's the back. And the beautiful tassel has lots of laces and ribbons and trims, as well as the fabric. And then here is the altered paper clip. This one has a sewn-in tie with some pink satin ribbon. Before I get into the book, I'll go ahead and show you all the handmade items that will come with the book. Here's the glassine bag. This has, every piece on here has some sort of vintage book page or music sheet or something. This is a little corner flip that I'm altered there. The graph paper. Here's a pocket. It has one of the cut aparts in it from the book page. Here's a couple tags. This is from a vintage little music sheet and some vintage lace there. It's a note card with vintage book page and flower, another note card. Here is a little pocket. Another tag. Here's a vintage music piece there that actually all the other pieces were from that sheet. Here's another tag that I made from a cut apart of the paper collection, and then here's a shipping tag that I altered. So those pieces will come with the book. Now we'll just go into fast forward and I'll show you the inside. So here they all are all together. I hope you like them, and I hope that if you're not able to buy one, that this did give you some inspiration for making a junk journal. So if you like them, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe. Check out the link to my Etsy shop down below for the listings and all the other goodies. I'm going to have a separate video on all the other items that will be in my shop, and hopefully you will have a chance to go over and check them out. See you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye. God bless.